You don't have to be perfect with money in order to be worthy of wealth or in order to become a magnet to more and more money and more abundance. It's the same thing with love. However, for this video, I'm going to be talking about money because there is so much misinformation and so much shame and so much emotionally charged opinions out there about money and the way that money works. It has caused a lot of shame and stagnation when it comes to money flow for a lot of people. I can already feel myself getting on a soapbox. It's very similar to like the beauty standards, right? Like we're kept in this cycle of continuously trying to match unattainable beauty standards because that keeps like the machine running, right? And it's the same thing with money, although a little bit different, where it has been ingrained in us to feel shame around money. My parents' generation like passed on to my generation where it's like we don't talk about money, you don't talk about how much you earn, you don't talk about these things, and it leads to a sense of shame around you know perception and seeing what other people have and not knowing the behind the scenes. And this is so true in the coaching industry as well, where it's like hit six-figure years, and it's like to break the shame, it's like talk about what are you investing the money in? What are are you paying your team fair and livable wages? Are your expenses in line with you having profit, or is all of your money going towards expenses, right? It's like we're not that nobody is talking about these things, but not enough people are talking about them. What happens is it's very easy to go into comparison and to feel shame around, debt you may have or your spending habits or anything that you might consider messy, like messy money patterns. And that shame will prevent you from expanding into your next level. However, it's like the circumstances or the facts of what's happening is not what's holding you back. It's your shame, it's your belief, it's who you are being in relationship to money that is shaping how money shows up for you. It is not out of your control, and it is fairly simple to shift. It's not easy, but it's simple to shift. So I just really want you to take away from this that you can and will be magnetic and powerful and worthy of more money and abundance while healing your relationship to money, while untangling the web of lies that we've been sold into about money and about debt and about investments and the way that money gets to work. I'm just seeing like money is like oxygen, right? Like it's just you breathe in, get what you need out of it, and then release, right? And it's just like this, it's a flow that gets to happen. And when you are trapped in the shame cycle, it's like holding your breath. It's like I don't want to release any of this oxygen or the CO2. I don't want to release any of this because what if I need it? And it's like there's always more than enough. There is always more than enough. When you are, and most people that I work with are at this place of, okay, Ashley, I get this, right? Like I get that where I'm at now is not where I want to be. And so it's like, I'm here and I want to be here. And with money, I have found there isn't a direct step from this point to this point. There's like this step that you can't see in the middle. And you might start to like step into that and you're like, oh, fuck, like, no, I can't do it. Or you start to step into it and you're like floating in this in between and it's so uncomfortable because the in between of not having and having more money, love, whatever it is terrifying. Well, I don't want to say it doesn't have to be terrifying, but if you've never experienced it before, and even if you've, done this work, like I still have times where I'm like creating a new version or a new level. And it's like you step into that unknown where you don't see the step below you, like you don't see what you're stepping into. it can feel terrifying. And this is where having support is crucial because these conversations are not happening in day-to-day relationships, right? And when you find somebody that you can talk to that can guide you through this, you get to have a level of safety that you wouldn't have otherwise. And so like you step into the unknown, right? So it's like making an investment. They're showing me like sometimes you have to spend money in order to make money. Like that's just something that I think most people have heard where sometimes that's true or a lot of people once you start to get to higher incomes, you want to start investing. And it's like investing isn't just like putting it in a savings account. Like you're taking the money and you're putting it into this possibility and potentiality, which in the long run probably will grow, but there is this risk factor, right? And it's like it's not completely out of your control, but it can feel like it's completely out of your control. So it's like I'm doing this big thing and I don't know and I've never done it before and it's such a stretch. You're in that in between before you start to see your accounts rise, before you start to see, if you are, say you raise your rates. If you're an entrepreneur, you raise your rates, and it's like your old clients are not going to be at this new level yet. So perhaps more new people are coming, and it's like meeting them there, right? So you raise your rates, and it's like this waiting, and it doesn't have to be a waiting, but this is often what happens where it's like there's this time of waiting, and a lot of people will step into the unknown and then feel the oh shit and step back. And then there's shame that comes up like, oh, I couldn't hold it. I couldn't do it. It doesn't work for me. All of these things. And the truth is it is scary. Like it is scary, especially money because, we have to have money to live. This is just the current reality. Like you have to have money. It's like oxygen. You have to have money. And if you don't, it's very fucking difficult to survive, right? Being scared is not proof that you can't do it. Feeling fear does not mean you're on the wrong path. Oftentimes, having that fear comes up means you're shifting into the person that has what it is that you want and you're feeling scared because you've never experienced it before. So, each new level that fear is going to come up each and it's like most people think, "Oh, I already figured this out. I already healed this." And it's like, yeah, but each expansion, it's going to come up again. And here's the truth though. True wealth is not just about numbers. It's not about like signing into your bank account and seeing numbers. It's about who you are being. It's about your energy and it's so deeply about self-trust and self-regulation and knowing that knowing that there's no such thing as perfection and you don't have to be at some made up, I was going to say mythical income income range in order to be worthy of more. You don't have to be perfect with money. You don't have to be like I have zero debt therefore, now I'm worthy of more wealth. And it's like starting to release the shame around the past or things they're like things you had to do to survive or I'm just seeing like all of these different conversations that I've had and all these different like things that I've read around people's feelings about money and shame and debt and especially around debt but money decisions like I don't have to go into all of this but it's like releasing the shame and starting to anchor into the truth of I am the version of me who gets to receive more. I don't have to be perfect. I am worthy of overflow today, right here, right now. And like really truly anchoring into self-responsibility around your nervous system and holding yourself in the in between. That is like the gold like the one thing that you can do to completely shift your money story is to take the step and to hold yourself in the in between. I want to talk about the shame a little bit more to kind of maybe help it dissipate a bit. The shame that you are carrying around money most likely is not yours. It is learned behavior. It is something that was modeled to you or shown to you through TV, through your parents, through family, through school, through church. It is not necessarily yours. You've taken it on and you get to release it. So something that comes up with my clients a lot is like, I'm earning more than anybody in my family or anybody like in my sphere. And it's saying it sounds silly, but it's such a very real feeling of like feeling unworthy or why me or afraid that it will make them a target. Like there's all different feelings that start to come up. But the truth is like all of these money stories are not yours to hold forever. You get to release them, you get to heal, you get to a place where you are creating your own new story around money. You can be in debt and still embody wealth. You can be learning how to hold money while calling more and more in. It's not what you have that makes you magnetic to more. It is who you are being. But a question that I like to ask myself is if I had X, right? Like if I had an extra $100,000 or if I had an extra $1,000, whatever it is, how would I feel? And it's like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, like I don't know if I can hold this. And sometimes I'm like, it doesn't make a difference, right? And start to gauge your nervous system, start to gauge how you internally feel around having more, receiving more. And if you're like in a slight freak out, that you're not gonna be able to easily call in that amount of money because it doesn't feel safe in your system. And so this is where you can, anchor in. And how do we anchor in? So you just want to close your eyes and like put your feet on the ground, feel supported and safe, and take a few deep breaths in through your nose and breathe out your mouth. And so just thinking about more money, like the next level of income for myself, I can feel some anxiety creeping in, right? And so just want to like breathe into that feeling and want to remind ourselves like, I am safe at my current bank account numbers. I am safe to expand into the next level. And I just keep telling myself, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. And you can say it out loud or you can say it in within. I just like to like hold my chest and my tummy area and just like really ground into like I've got me. And here's where it's really good to maybe journal or sit with yourself and see like what money stories are coming up and you can flip it, right? So if you are like, I don't believe that this could happen for me, you just remind yourself like I am open to possibility. I am open to being surprised by money. Just whatever feels good to help reset your nervous system, to help your subconscious like get on board with like I'm not being chased by a bear. Like it's just money. It's just energy. It is safe. I am safe. I don't need to be perfect with money in order to be worthy of more. I don't need to be debt free in order to be worthy of more money. Money flows to those who hold themselves, hold their power, hold their energy and being, and not somebody that is trying to be perfect. Breathing into that, really anchoring into it. You can spend some time journaling. Ask yourself, like, what do I believe about money? What was I taught about money? What was I shown about money? How does it feel in my body when I think about more money? How does it feel in my body when I think about taking the next step with no guarantees? Right. And it's like, oh shit, like ooh, stuff comes up. And then you can see and like, okay, so now I know where I can reframe these old beliefs and step into and being the version of me that has it. So another question is like, if I had an extra $10,000 or whatever it is you want to call in, what would I be doing? Well, I wouldn't be spending time on stupid shit, right? Like, what would I be doing? Like, journal through that. And then you can actually start to become that version of you. Well, she wouldn't be, worried about paying her bills. She'd stop fucking freaking out about it. And it's like, okay, so now I need to relax into not freaking out about bills, right? Start shifting it. And it's moment by moment by moment. And it's the in between of holding yourself and knowing that it doesn't feel very safe, but you are safe. If this has spoke to you, if you're in the middle or even the beginning or ending, I don't know as if there ever is an ending around healing your money story and you're ready to take the next step, I'm having a free masterclass next Monday, June 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's free. I'd love for you to join. The registration will be in my bio, and I hope to see you.